That the issues that I've heard consistently throughout the community, throughout all the communities in town, was that there was a concern about the condition of our roads. And I took an opportunity to travel some of the roads, not just the ones that where I ordinarily travel, but I would get out on the weekends and the evening time and drive around all areas of Texarkana. And I agreed with the citizens that there was a concern of our road condition. And without going back and saying, well, how did they get that away? Why did they get that away? To me, I look at it and say, okay, what can we do? And one area that we did do the last couple of years is we've looked at the budget. And we've scrutinized the budget. And the areas that we were able to identify money that we could reprogram, remove, we dedicated it as a board of directors, we dedicated it to street repairs. Well, basically what that provided with us is just what I call the knee-jerk reactionary process, where the citizen called the city hall, I got a pothole out here in front of my house or near on this road here, we'd run out there, we'd patch it, and 3 months later, we'd get the call again, and usually the same community, go back and patch it again, because that's all we were doing, just patching, and we could never get ahead of just patching, because you know, during these economic times, you know, money's tight. There's no way that we're going to have $100 or $20 million to do the work we needed to do. So we looked at other alternatives. The alternative that we came up with is that we currently have a bond issue that is coming to maturity. It's a $2.5 million tax that was, what was it, 2000? In 2000 was approved by the citizen. So it costs, if you look at what it's costing for every $100,000 worth of property value you have, it's costing you about $50 a year. So that means if you've got $200,000, it's $100 a year. Well, I've always advocated, I don't believe in increasing taxes. I don't think our citizens can actually afford it. I don't think it's, I'm really an anti-tax person, so I never considered let's bring it to the citizens and ask for a tax increase. Some people will say this is a tax increase. I say it's not. It's a continuation of a tax that we're paying. And as we go into it, I'll explain why. You know, citizens are going to have to make a choice. Is it worth the $50 or $100 or $75, whatever it is it's costing you a year to continue this on? Is it worth it to have the repair? Well, we contacted bond companies. They said basically that we could refinance, and what that entails is we owe a little bit over $1 million now on the current bond. We would take that, we would refinance it, and we could have available to us between $9 and $10 million. And there is, you know, how much that is, we don't know until actually the bond is issued, and then we'll know how much we're going to be able to acquire. We will repay that bond by the $2.5 million. So there won't be a tax increase, it will be a continuation of that. And that's what we're asking the citizens to do. And June the 26th, you're going to have the opportunity to go to the polls and vote. There's two issues on the ballot. One of them is that we're going to ask you to vote for the approval to allow the city to use the bond to pay the $1 million of the previous bond that's owed. We're going to ask you the second issue, come on in. The second issue we're going to ask you that you had to vote for is to use the money, the funds that's there, to repair the streets in the city of Texarkana, Arkansas. The commitment that we're making, and this is the board of directors, we're making this here. Number one is that 100% of those funds that we acquire after we pay off the $1 million, and I think it's $1,030,000 right now, and it may be less because we pay every month, it would be less than that. Whatever funds we receive, we're dedicating 100% of that to the street repairs within the city limits of Texarkana, Arkansas. And I've got most of my city here, we're not going to let the city decide where it's going to be done. The board of directors is going to do that. It's our responsibility. We represent you as citizens. We answer to you. And we will decide as a group, there's 7 of us, we'll decide where the money will be spent, what streets will be repaired, how we're going to allocate the funds. We're not going to spend it for anything else other than the streets for Texarkana, Arkansas to make it better. CLB engineer rated the streets 1 to 114. Set a priority. That may or may not be what we decide to use the funds for. It's up to us. It's a starting point. It gives us an idea of where the most traffic is, where that's what part of it is, where the how much traffic goes through there, what repairs it is. If we get the funds, then we're going to come right back to you folks again, ask you, what do you want us to do with this money? Where do you want to see us spend it? The good thing of it is, we can't sit on our dust too long. We've got 3 years after we receive the money to allocate the funds for the streets. So you're going to be able to see immediate results of your approval. I'm asking for it. I'm the one that's kind of stepped out here and led it. I think it's something that we need to do. I think it's going to benefit the city. And I say that is that we right now, if you notice here, we're growing. We have a lot of opportunity. If you look just right now, I just drove by, and next week people living on county is going to be a little inconvenienced because they're going to have to close part of County Avenue to do some utility work for one of our newest stores, Dollar Tree, that's coming in. We've got CVS Pharmacy coming in. We've got the University of Arkansas campus coming out here. We've got the convention center coming. We've got the water park coming. You know, we've got a lot of stuff going. And to me, it's one of the things that we can attract more people, more businesses, if we got good streets. We approve this. The advantage is you may not get your street right in front of your house resurfaced, but what it does is it frees up that money that we've been doing on these major thoroughfares and these major roads that we have, that we've been spending on the ones that, the top 10 or the 114, ones that we've been spending money on. The ones that we do repair, then we won't have to spend money. We'll have money available to do those good, the correct repairs in your specific neighborhood or in your front of your house, whatever it is. It gives us an opportunity to have some funds. It'll also give us an opportunity for us as board members to look and say, okay, can we start dedicating and setting money aside where in 5 or 10 years that we'll have some money available. You know, it's going to provide us as your representative to plan for the future. And that's something I'm asking you to do, is to, number one, June the 26th, go out and vote for the initiative. Both of them. Vote for allowing us to refinance the bond, the current $1,100,000 bond, and allow us to use the funds, vote for us using the funds for the repair, construction, reconstruction, all that other stuff for the streets of Texarkana, Arkansas. Let us benefit, let us progress. Because you know what we do? We bring those new businesses in. Bringing those new businesses in is going to bring in new citizens that's going to live in our community. And what happens, the same things happen. You know, this bond came out in 2000. We're paying off early. And the reason we are is 100% of that $2.5 million tax, 100% of it goes to this bond. We can't use it to do anything else. We can only use that money. So if we got more tax, a larger tax base, we got more citizens, we got more homes, that's going to provide us more funds to repay this bond quicker than what we anticipate that it will live. But when we issue the bond, it's based upon the tax base that we're receiving today, right now. And we've grown. We're going to continue to grow. Now then, it's time for us as a community to step forward, I think do the right thing, vote for those two initiatives, provide your representatives with the funds to fix your streets.
Shape in our sister city. Our sister city, my son is a councilman on the side. They're broke. They had to increase taxes significantly. Now, let me tell you how blessed we are. My son's house in Texas is not even half as big as mine. His taxes are over 4,000, almost 5,000 a year. People, as he said, he lives on the poor end of White. My taxes, of course, now you know I'm a senior citizen. They give old people breaks, but my taxes that I've already paid for this year were a little over $1,300. And I live on almost 2 acres, and I live right down the street here. And my house is considerably larger than his. And we don't have, I'm not going to vote for a tax increase. I'm not. But this is the best of all possible worlds. We get a part of what we need without having to raise taxes. It's still, this bond is still not going to mature until 2038. You hear me? It doesn't matter whether you vote it in or out. It's still, you're still going to have the millage taken out when you pay your property taxes. That's still going to go to pay off this note. Well, then why can't we get something good? First of all, anyone who has a house note right now knows that the smart thing to do is to refinance it, because percentage on your loan, your mortgage interest payment is the lowest it will ever be. Right now, smart people are refinancing right now because they can get the lowest percentage charged to them. We're doing basically what is smart. The city is doing what is smart. Your taxes are not going to go up. The good news, the bad news is, whether you vote for this or not, your 2.5 mil is still coming out of your taxes. It was voted in 2000. You people did it. Now I'm going to tell you what. You voted us into office. That means you must have had some confidence in us. I hope so. And I'm going to say this because I think these people right around here can tell you. This is probably the most transparent city government that you will ever have. Right here. Because if they weren't, I'd call them out. I would. And I wouldn't do it just talking behind their backs. I would do it in open session. I'll tell you something, when people come in, just as the mayor said, we're getting a lot of activity in Arkansas now. You know, everything for the longest time was built in Texas. I mean, nothing was coming over to us. Now there are people who are coming in here and they want to look at Arkansas, see what we have to offer. We want to show them. And you and I both know, when you drive into a neighborhood, first of all, you want to look how it's kept. You want to know, is this a well-kept city? One of the best ways to judge that is, how do the streets look? You also look at other things. You look at the schools. You look at the services that you have. We have the best police service in both cities. We do. Our schools are now getting all kinds of awards. That's an improvement. We have great fire protection. If you call somebody, they're going to be there really in a hurry. We have probably the best response rate of either side of town. All I'm saying is we need to improve our curb appeal. We need very much to make our city look the way we are.
I wrote down a question that said, what is the cause, the major cause of the reason the street needs repairs? Did they investigate that?
Yeah, well, we don't need to investigate it. We just have not had the, and I said, you know, I'm not going to get into pointing fingers or anything. We just didn't have a good program because we weren't willing to have the money, to allocate the money.
All right, improper drainage. Improper drainage. If you drive through when it's, sure enough raining, I don't care whether you live in a very fine brick house, a plank house, or aluminum siding house. In Texarkana, Arkansas, there is major drainage problems
There is.
that is causing erosion of streets, which that can be corrected if you have proper draining. That means that the streets won't be eroded, and that means money won't have to be spent on the street, because fix the problem, the streets, some of the streets wouldn't be as bad.
And that's the reason it's in that
It's
ordinance.
in that
It's in the ordinance that we can address drainage.
And if you will look on that sheet that I've given you,
Okay, I
it
promise you,
states
I'm
that
reading good.
ordinance in there that it can be used for drainage. If there are drainage problems, we need to.
Yeah, if you look at the
Yeah, 'cause we got bad drainage.
If you look at question 1 down there, it specifically says, go through all the improvements to new and current street, bridges, viaduct, and the other intersections. Go through all that, and it says, and drainage improvements thereof.
Okay.
And that's one of the things, we know we've got problems in town. We know that drainage causes erosion of the street, and we have that available to us. Director Harris.
Yes, Lane Harris, Ward 2 Director. I guess I'll read this later. But I know about potholes real good, because every month I drive around in Ward 2 and I give the city manager a list of potholes, which he pass on to Public Works Director. So I pretty well got an issue of know about what most potholes is in Ward 2, because I do that every month. And the reason why you might say, and I'd like to thank Miss Davis, you know, she knowing when she asked me, do I mind coming and having a town hall meeting with her, and she asked me, I said, I don't mind. I said, you know, I'm kind of against this, but, you know, my hat's going off to Miss Davis for even though inviting me. We have a joint townhouse meeting together, knowing that, you know, I think she should be highly respected for that aspect. So I thank you for that. So, but the reason why I have a problem with this funding issue, because the streets in the poorest neighborhood, there's no reason to say that they're gonna get done. And I know I had 2 ordinances that addressed that issue, but both of them failed. One of them was divide the money throughout our 6 ward, and I said if that didn't work, then just give wards 2 $1.6 million, which the board voted against that too. And my concern is also is, you know, when people come into town, they also gonna look at the schools too. And I think that the street adjacent to the school should have high priorities. And I think I gave a list like here, Forest Street should have high priority, Euclid Street should have high priority, Pinehurst Street up there by the school, Artesian Street, you know, Jefferson Street over there by Arkansas High. They almost look like a jigsaw puzzle, you know. So I think streets should, adjacent to schools should have the first high priority. Then like I said, the neighborhood over here, you know, it haven't really been given its, you know, working on the street other than CBG money. You know, that's because the government get $300-something thousand a year set aside for doing money in the poorest neighborhood. So that's why you may see a little bit done in the poorest neighborhood just because of CBG money. And for Graham Street, I think that was on the list too, because there was a lot of potholes down Graham Street, and I'm aware of the. But according to that list, Graham is not on the top 10 list. I think this Allen Street is the street that they got to do in Ward 2. It's Allen Street. I don't think Graham may be in the top 10 list, but according to the list, the map that they have done, Allen Street is the street that's on the street they want to do in Ward 2.